What's up, guys? We are live here on Teach Me Tuesday. Once again, I got the Abrahams. If y'all could just introduce yourself for the people that might not know who you are.
Sure. Ladies first.
I knew he was going to say that. So I'm LaShawn Abraham. I am a mortgage loan officer slash sales manager in our Somerville branch. And so I'm glad to be with you guys today to talk about another great topic. And so, yeah, that's who I am.
Gavin Abraham. I'm also originally a loan officer, part of the Abraham team. Doing it now for about a little over 2 years, and former real estate agent as well. So know a little something, I guess.
So where are you guys based out of? So if y'all don't mind talking about that.
So our main office is here in Somerville, South Carolina,
Okay.
right on Main Street. But yeah, we're natives. I'm a native of Orangeburg. LaShawn's a native of Charleston and Georgia. She's a come a goer or something like that, if you want to call it.
I don't even know what that means.
Or I just made that up on the fly. Don't be surprised if you hear that blowing up nationally. Everybody using that term, come goer, come a goer.
It's a term my wife use all the time, and I know I can't think of it. It's like binya.
Yeah, been here.
Binya. Like if you from Charleston, I've been here, not I come here, but I've been here, So yeah, but yeah, my wife is a native of Charleston, Hughie, South Carolina. So
Okay.
Not Huger, Hugh G.
no, Hughie. All right, so don't get it twisted. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So a little bit about myself. My name is Wilmot Berry with the Berry Group, brokered by EXP Realty here in Orangeburg, South Carolina, the big city, Orangeburg.
Right, baby.
And I'm a real estate agent. Um, got a team of agents that's serving the people, trying to make sure we help them reach their real estate goals. So, guys, we got a great topic this week. I'm excited about it, and I actually look forward to these Teach Me Tuesdays because I just feel like we not only are you helping the people that's trying to buy homes. I believe you're helping real estate agents. You're helping people that, hey, they might be curious at some point about, maybe purchasing, but not right now. Um,
Mhm.
and also, I just believe that, we are continuing to, just, sow into people. So, in this topic today, I want to let you guys go ahead go ahead, go into it. And I'm gonna just chime in here and there, but just go ahead and go into that topic, that question that we have for this week.
Right.
Yeah, so the question of the day is can you, get a mortgage? Can you still buy a house if you change jobs? We get asked that question a lot, especially I feel like since COVID hit, a lot of people have either, lost their job, got laid off a job, or just decided to, start something else because the industry that they were in, they didn't want to necessarily do that with, all of the constant contact. So a lot of people have changed jobs in the past couple of years, and so they want to know, can they still buy a house, even though their jobs have changed. So the short answer to that question is yes. You still
Mhm.
get a loan if you change job. You still can be eligible to buy a house if you change job. However, there are some stipulations. There's always some stipulations to that answer. It depends on, we can kind of, hit a couple of bullets. It depends on, what type of job it is and really how you were paid. You know what I mean? So there's an example if you, were working a 9 to 5 and were a W-2 employee and all of a sudden you change to become self-employed. You just like, oh, I want to start my own business now or
That's
something
right.
like that. So that right there, even though it may be in the same field, or even though you didn't have a gap in your employment, you just went from that job to your business, because the income type change, that can kind of, it won't stop you from buying a house, but it will delay you from buying a house.
So
Right.
I
Oh,
got a
go ahead. Go ahead, woman.
I got a question. I'm curious about that because like I do get that question as well as an agent, and of course I always refer to the professional. I'm always like, hey, pump the brakes. Let's talk about this first, before you start, quit your job and then do something else. I say let's talk, especially if you already under contract with a home,
Oh,
You don't want to be making these big changes during that process.
Right.
I have seen it. I have had clients call me and ask me about that. So when you switch from, let's just say, hey, I've been working at this job 10, 15 years, like, hey, now, man, I want to start my own business. Why is that situation different from you having a 9 to 5 than you starting your own business? If you don't mind going into that.
Right. I mean, I'll touch on that. So, um, consistency. We know what you're. Consistency is probably the dominant word there. We know what to expect when you're expected to work 40 hours a week. 52 weeks a year. We kind of can have an idea what your annual income should be or what you're going to bring in monthly, and we can calculate that. However, when you decide that okay, you want to try something different, you want to go be self-employed, you may have the best business plan and know that you're going to be successful, but until you have a track record of showing that to the to the government by filing
Mm-hmm.
your 2 year by filing taxes for 2 years consistently, then we can't identify your success
Gotcha.
in regards to your income. So it's the consistency of knowing what income you're going to bring in by you having a 9 to 5 job or whatever job that is where you're receiving a W-2, and then it's the potential inconsistency of what you can bring in with self-employed income, because that's completely, it could be good some months, bad some months, good some years, bad some years. So we have to have at least a history of 2 years to say, okay, well, we can see that you're trending up, so we can use average this income, or we see you trending down. So you had a great first year, but your second year, you're not doing so well. And then even in the year that you're in that you haven't filed yet, um, you're still not doing so good, or you're doing great. So take those factors into consideration to making a good decision regarding someone's income.
Yeah, and I would add to that, if you really think about it, right? Because sometimes I like to make things, as simple and just, in layman's terms as possible. If you just started a business and you're filling out a mortgage application and there's a spot on there that says, how much do you make? How would you answer that question? You'll be like, I don't know, or maybe this, or if I, depends on what line of work you're in. If I do X amount of jobs, I may make this amount, or if, clientele picks up, I can make this amount. That amount is unknown. And then the key thing there too, kind of like Gavin mentioned, is that it's not taxed. So the difference between being self-employed versus like a W-2 employee is that taxes. A self-employed person, they get their gross income, that money up front. They don't have taxes automatically taken out, or insurance or 401k taken out of that money. They get all their money up front, and then they decide how much of that they want to be taxed. And so that is a big difference when you are trying to buy a house.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one because I can see how, a lot of people are in the distribution business. And I notice, I deal with clients that have, drive truck, everything, and it's a different scenario with that client. And do you guys work with business owners, and how often, how much consistency do you need to see in order for them to qualify for a house?
All right. Go ahead, Sean.
No, okay. So I was gonna, so I mean, for the easiest way to answer that is 2 years. We need to
Okay.
see a 2 year history
2 year
that
history.
income is consistent. However, I like to always put a disclaimer: it's more than just seeing the 2 year history. It's also making sure that there's enough income reported.
All
That's
right.
really, even, right there in line with the 2 year history. Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I filed my tax return, for 2 years, but you had a lot of expenses, or your tax person wrote off 95% of your income as well. And so even though you may have filed it, you didn't necessarily report all of your earnings.
Mm, mm.
Right.
So
So
that
yeah.
that could actually hurt them
Oh yeah.
if if they didn't, I guess, report everything that, or they, I guess,
What
had a
they,
loss, you
yeah,
know.
exactly. So what you see people, typically do, and it's not you're doing anything wrong. You're just not the season that you're in. You're not preparing for to purchase a home. So you have people that, and it's a good business sense to write off as much as you can. You want to reduce your taxable debt so that
Mhm,
you owe less money, right?
mhm,
I mean, that's just tax laws were invented for that almost for that purpose, in
mhm.
a sense, for home for not for homeowners, for
Business.
self-employed
Mhm,
business owners, because they're they help drive the economy. Um, with that being said, though, like you said, you have to, when you're preparing to buy a home, and tax time's rolling around, you're gonna have to suck it up for 2 years, pretty much. You may have been writing off all these expenses before, but now you need to show, yeah, you grossed, or you made $200,000 on your
yeah,
business, right?
yeah.
But you wrote off $160,000 in expenses for that year
Mm,
to reduce your net income only to $40,000.
mm,
Not to say that you can't qualify for something, but you're based on your mindset. You're thinking that, well, hey, I made all this money, I should be able to afford
yeah,
this substantial amount of a loan, or in a house. And the reality is you can't, because what you told Uncle Sam is that, hey, I made a lot of money, but it also cost me a lot to make that money.
mhm,
So here's
mhm,
all I have left over,
mm,
and that just doesn't work
mm.
when it comes to what we need to get you at the appropriate qualifying income, that we know you deserve. So it's all about preparation
Gotcha,
when it comes to self-employed.
gotcha. And I guess a switch kind of back to the W-2 employee.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do you need to see that they've been on that job, working, in order for them to possibly qualify for a home?
Yeah, so they don't necessarily have to, and I think that's a big misconception that people have about the home buying process. They think that they have to be on that specific job for a
Mhm,
period of time to buy a house, and they don't. They don't have to be on that job for 2 years. It's just that we have to have a 2 year work history.
gotcha.
So but we like to say, at least stay on the job anywhere from, 30 days to 6 months. So that way you have pay stubs and we can get, some type of consistency once again of at least what you're bringing in.
Gotcha.
But you don't have to necessarily be on the job itself 2 years, but just making sure that history is there.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
just to add on to that, so when W-2 employees, you have hourly and you have salary.
Mhm.
I mean, you also have people who get commission, things of that sort. But just keeping it simple, when it comes to hourly employees, when you have a set amount of hours you work a week, 40 hours a week, um, and you don't go to that job for 40 hours a week consistently, you go 39, 38, 37. What that does is, over a period of time, that shows us that your income is what we consider to be variable.
Mm,
And again, the key to the game is consistency when it comes to your income. If you're not consistently getting 40 hours, I can't qualify you off of what you're expected to receive, because
gotcha.
what's showing on your year to date pay stub is that, yeah, you're supposed to be getting $4,000, $5,000 a month, but your pay stubs show that you're only getting 3,500 or 4,500, whatever it may be.
And
Mm,
that could be, maybe, and I'm going to cut you off, but that could be, some people may take longer work, longer lunch breaks, or some people
Right.
may take off
mm,
early, or some people may only work a half a day sometime. It's
okay.
just,
Or you may not have any more vacation time, and
yeah.
you gotta take off, or whatever circumstances, and now that's no longer paid time off.
Mm,
You're just not getting paid for those shortened hours. So
mm,
um, what I was hitting at was that causes us to now look at income differently, and we have to now have a true we have to look at the whole 2 year history to determine, well, what have you been averaging over the past 2 years? And think about it. Most people in most situations, the longer you work, the more income you like, the higher salary, the higher wage you make.
Mm.
So you would want me to qualify you based off of what you are now. Like if you're at $20 an hour, you would want me to qualify you based off of that, not what you were making a year ago, 2 years ago, or not taking in consideration that average back, a year or 2 years ago when you were only making $16 an hour. But because you're not consistently showing me that you're going to work 40 hours a week, and I can confirm that, oh, you're good at this $20 an hour. This is what we're going to qualify you on. Now I'm qualifying you at a lower amount because you haven't been consistent in showing me your income.
Okay, so the biggest thing is showing the consistency of income, correct? So if I had someone, I have a client and they were a school teacher and they decided, hey, I'm not going to be a school teacher anymore. I'm going to go to corporate America, right? But the income is still the same or increases. Is that an issue with the mortgage company or the bank, or how does that work?
Yeah, no, I mean that's not an issue. That's a if your income is increasing, I mean it's a plus. But again, it's all about the consistency. So when you change to that new job, we want to see that your pay stubs for the first 30 days. If you're hourly, right? Because especially in this situation, teachers are paid a salary. For the most part, most teachers are paid a salary per year. And when it comes to a salary, there's no variation in your paycheck. You get the same broken out salary, whether you're getting paid biweekly, monthly, or weekly, whatever it is. That should remain consistent, because you're on salary. It doesn't matter how many hours you showed up that week or you didn't show up. We don't see that. You're getting paid that same amount. So if you're going hourly, and again, we see those first 30-day pay stubs, and they're not consistent with you being at work for 40 hours a week, or it's not reporting that. If it's shorter than that, then we're going to need to see you on that job a little bit longer time.
Gotcha.
We want to see now, okay, well, let's give it 6 months to see if you catch up to where now you're averaging 40 hours per week like you're supposed to be.
Okay.
And it varies. Some jobs, a standard work week may not be 40 hours. Some, like you have nurses. They work like maybe 36 hours is considered a full work week. And we would, of course, adjust our calculation to that, because it'll always show that they're short.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is, like, you guys, when you get those documents in from them, is showing the consistency. It's like, hey, this person averaging this amount a month, or this amount every other week, or whatever, and that's what you guys want to see.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing I would add to that is, as you can see, as we're trying to explain it to you, I mean, it's a little complex. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. Yeah. And mortgage is truly not black or white. It really is gray. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's, everybody doesn't work the same type of job and don't get paid the same kind of way. And then to even add another layer to that, every loan type have different guidelines. So there's no way in the world that as a client, as a consumer, as a buyer, you would know this stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, our recommendation is always to make sure that you're getting with your your proper representation, so that you can ask the question, so that we can look at your specific file to be able to help guide you. That's what we are. We are consultants. We are your advisor. We are your person that truly helps you to get in that house. And so we don't expect you to know this, but the thing that we would ask of you is, if you know that you want to buy a house, and you know that this is something for you or whatever, then I would tell you. I'm gonna say hi. I would tell you to
hey,
you say hi. Feeling well today. But I would tell you to make sure that you consult with us. You know what I mean? Like, let us help you put a plan together. Let us help you to really, really navigate that process.
Gotcha. But so you just hit on something, right? Talk with your professional
Yes.
about your financials. If you haven't bought a house before and you have never had a mortgage, talk to a mortgage professional. Hey, if you never bought a house before, talk to a real estate professional.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's funny, don't get me wrong, I get it. There's certain individuals out there that, hey, they do this all the time. They might be investors or whatever. They got it down packed. They might buy, I don't know, 5-10 houses a year, sell 5-10 houses a year. If this is your first time ever doing something like this, I would highly recommend you speaking with your local professional, like your mortgage people right here, the Abrahams, or reaching out to me if you're trying to purchase a home and you don't know how this thing works, what a contract looks like, what terms are on the contract. These are all important things that you need to know when trying to purchase your home, whether it's your first time or I got investors right now. They use me and they buy houses and sell houses all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to write a contract though. So I think it's utilize the people that can best help you to the best of your ability, because you don't know what you don't know.
That's true. And then things change.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, the mortgage guidelines, mortgage rules, the real estate market, real estate contracts, that stuff change all the time, daily, yearly, monthly. It changes.
Yeah, sure does.
And we have to get training and put in the hours to evolve with those new updates and the new changes in the market. So that's why you consult with the professional, because we've been made aware of the changes.
Long story short, this is what we do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I like
so but guys, if y'all have anything else y'all want to add, but I know we definitely want to tackle that topic today. Y'all have anything else you want to add to what
we
you
like to keep it short and sweet. But as always, y'all definitely can reach out to us with any questions. We're always here to help. We're always wanting to, provide you guys with whatever information we can.
Gotcha.
You want to say hi, Olivia?
Say hey. All right. Well, guys, like always, we'll be here on Tuesdays, Teach Me Tuesdays, here at 12-ish. Just depend on what's going on that day, but we're going to try to be here as much as we possibly can to help you guys with your real estate needs. And
I think we got one question that came in. Let's see.
Okay.
Before we pop off. So it says, if you're self-employed, can you still purchase a home? Absolutely. Definitely go back and watch the beginning of this video if you just logged on, because we did talk about self-employed individuals. We just have to make sure that tax reporting is there, or if we wanted to do some out-of-the-box financing, that the right things are in order. But yes, you definitely can still purchase a house.
Yep.
Let's see. Last question was, should people make any purchases during the home buying process?
Oh, that's a great question. Definitely, Mr. Williams. So when you consult with a mortgage professional, you get a pre-approval. We're qualifying you based on your financial situation, your debt at that moment. You don't want to go changing anything prior to closing on your home during the home buying process. Now, if there is something that you need, not saying that you can't, go use a credit card to buy dinner or whatever it may be, or to get gas, have those conversations with your lender.
Please.
So that, we can tell you that, yes, you can go do this. You have enough room to do that. Or no, I don't need you to do anything. But the main answer to the question is you don't want to change your income, your debt, or your anything in your financial situation.
So I would say it like this, not to cut you off, Gavin. So the answer is, can you make purchases? Absolutely, you can make purchases. I guess the true answer, the true question is, can you open debt? No. You can purchase if you already have the credit card, yes, or whatever. If you already have, the funds in there, so that's fine. It's just don't open any new debt while you're in the process of trying to. Meaning, don't give your social security number to anybody at all.
Yeah. Not even that slick car salesman that says, "Hey, it won't show up until after you buy your house."
Correct. Or in the store where they give you, the extra 10 or 15% off or something like that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So no major purchases, correct? Yes. Because sometimes you have to repo credit throughout the process and things like that. So if you go and change things, that can kind of definitely affect you.
Right.
Man, boy, I tell you, that's a good question. I'm glad we said that again.
Yeah.
So we need to preach that one over and over again. Yeah.
It happens all the
time. No new debt.
No new debt.
I'll
get down a t-shirt. No new debt.
While buying a house. Now, after you get them keys, man,
go do what you want.
Go
buy that Maserati or whatever it is that your heart desires.
Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Well, guys, again, awesome. Appreciate you guys every week. The Abrahams with Guild Mortgage. And we look forward to the next one, Teach Me Tuesday. If you do have any other topics, feel free to send us some recommendations. We'd be more than happy to tackle them. Okay. Piano. Got me a piano. EJ, Dr. Williams.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
See y'all next week.
Have a good one. Bless.